Now we look at the Israeli NGO, Gilah's Way. They're trying to change the conversation around suicide and prevention into one of hope and resiliency. And 4 proposals have even been presented to the Knesset, awaiting that critical parliamentary approval. Our Sarah Chalala has the look.
I have my ups and downs, just like anybody else.
Maybe more than anybody else.
I can be hard to figure out.
And I like my privacy. I don't want you looking over my shoulder all the time.
In the streets, in our schools, workplaces, behind closed doors, there's a silent killer. Its silence lies in the fact that people don't talk about it.
A lot of people think about killing themselves, adults and kids.
Most of them never try it, but some of them do.
Suicide happens more than you think, and more than it should. It's a global phenomenon. Over 700,000 people worldwide take their own life each year. That's one person every 40 seconds. In Israel, the numbers are just as staggering.
There are over 650 suicides recorded in Israel every single year. There are many more that we do not know about because of the stigmas, because of the inability of people to report, to discuss, to converse. That does not count the over 6,000 attempted suicides every year here in Israel.
As far as youth goes, the Israeli Health Ministry says suicide is the 3rd cause of death for girls aged 15 to 24 and men aged 25 to 44, though Jews who immigrated from Ethiopia are today 5% more likely to die by suicide than any other community in Israel. Suicide rates also tend to increase with age and are highest among white men aged 65 and older. The core of Rabbi Hammer's work is bringing suicide prevention out of the shadows. He's doing that under his not-for-profit Gilah's Way.
Our dear daughter Gilah was sexually assaulted at the age of 16. Gilah tragically paid the price. She died in 2019, and on that day that she died, I decided that it would have to be a personal mission of mine to make sure that it doesn't happen to other people.
His latest work urging the Israeli Knesset to adopt 4 practical proposals as part of a landmark suicide prevention conference that he's convinced could avert tragedies like Gilah's. But part of changing the face of mental health in Israel starts with talking about suicide, like these families are doing.
Some kind of a taboo. People are reluctant of talking about suicide or mental problems or mental issues, but it shouldn't be the case. People should be open about that best way to help incidents like these.
The stigma should be taken away. Not everybody who commits suicide is crazy. Not everybody who commits suicide is mentally ill. It can happen to absolutely everybody. Not everybody who's gone through trauma, you can see it on them.
It is an absolute myth that people think that if you speak or mention the word suicide, that's going to plant something in someone's mind. It's not true. In essence, the idea is already there beforehand.
Suicide is rarely caused by any single factor. Young people are especially susceptible for any of a million reasons. But the main message is to recognise that the vast majority of people who die from suicide do not actually want to die. Sarah Chalala for i24 News, Tel Aviv.